Hey everybody, this is Sandy from Two Fat Birds Creative. Don't mind this here, this is for another project, but we are gonna make some dice. This is part of the collaboration from Kirnix, and it is the Craft Quest collaboration. Check out the link below in the description. So, I've got these dice molds. I've only made them once with UV resin and got a bunch of bubbles in it, so now we're gonna see what we can get. Hopefully, not a lot of bubbles. But I've got this fun color already mixed up from this other project, so I thought we'd give it a go in here. So for anyone that's like a Dungeons and... Ooh, wow. Making a mess already. Anyone that's a Dungeons and Dragons fan, you can play with these dice, especially if you like a pinky color. So we are just going to put this in here. And see what we get. Again, hopefully, no bubbles. A mess? Yes. But bubbles, hopefully not. This resin that I'm working with and, you know, spreading it everywhere except for where I needed to go. This is just from a Timu collection. And the color is a rose red. Excuse my dog in the background if you can hear him. There's other dogs barking outside, so he likes to talk back at them. Probably telling them how dare they bark in his neighborhood. He has a Napoleon complex. He's a small little dog. I mean, he's not like tiny. He's not Chihuahua. He's bigger than that. Like a Jack Russell American Bulldog mix. So he's got the stockiness of American Bulldog, size of a small Jack Russell. His sister, on the other hand, is the Jack Russell mix, but she has like the standard Bulldog. So she's got really long legs and that stance. More like a Staffordshire, probably. But he did not get those legs at all. Alrighty, so we are done. We're gonna run over the top of that. Try to get some of this mess cleaned up. And we'll be back when this cures. One thing I didn't show you. How does the lid go on? I'm actually gonna spray the lid with some alcohol. I'm gonna spray that with some alcohol. I kind of was scraping this off because you have to put the lid on. So if you see, there's this tab here that goes there. And it kind of tells you also which pieces go where. That big one there and that smaller one there. And then these tabs go in these little spots. So I was trying to get the resin out of there. I don't need it in there. So, put that there. And I'm gonna try do it this way. There's a bubble there. Get out of there, bubble. See, you can see I've got already bubbles sitting in there. So I'm not sure what the trick is with this. Maybe I don't have it filled up enough. Maybe you have to fill it up and then just trim them all down. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to find out. Alright, flip that back over. Put that in that spot. Definitely a lot of overspill. Bubble. Get out bubbles. There's a big... Don't want that bubble there. Alright. I know I've got a bubble there. Get out. I think I am just going to have bubbles, and I am just going to have to deal with it. If anybody has secrets on how to get these done, please let me know, because these bubbles are really annoying. Alright, we're gonna stop there.
Hey everyone, it is demo time of these D&D dice. So we're gonna pop this off. Hopefully, oh, I don't think that's a bubble in there. I think it's just there. Ooh, okay, awesome. So let's start to pop these out. There is definitely probably going to be some overspill on these. Here. Yeah, there's definitely overspill, so we have to figure out, gotta get all the overspill out first, because that's gonna stop me from getting these out. So see, look at that, just a thin layer. Pretty easy to come off, I don't mind that at all. I like it when things are easy. They'll probably need a little bit of a cleanup here. This last little bit off there. Sorry if I was off out of the shot. It's a bad habit I have of not knowing where my camera is. All right, there's one. Awesome. No bubbles in this. How awesome is that? Oh my God, I'm so stoked with that. And the next one. Yes, no bubbles in that one. Oh my God, I am so stoked. Let's keep it going. No bubbles, no bubbles, no whammies. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Tiny little, but there's a couple tiny micro bubbles. I'm fine with that. Fine as dandy day with that. Give this one a little clean up there. A little bubble there. Don't care about that one. That bubble, I mean. And awesome. Like I said, maybe some tiny micro bubbles. I don't care. I think these have turned out fantastic. Oops. And that one, yeah. Tiny little bubble at the tip. I don't care. I am in love with these. Woohoo! I'm gonna put some coloring in the numbers. clean up this mess. And actually, instead of a tic-tac-toe board, we're actually going to make a dice holder. I've got a large Let's Resin dice holder, and we are going to make that. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, here is the dice holder. I need a little bit of a cleanup. It's been sitting off to the side, so excuse all the dog hair everywhere. And we'll get it cleaned up before we use it. But this is the dice holder mold. And you put this part, you match up this little notch here, and you clip that inside there, and you move this piece and you pour your resin in there, and then it will fill all up in there. And then this is the lid, and you just fill your resin in there. And so we'll be back to fill this puppy up.
So now we're just going to color these in. Try and get the numbers colored in here. This is not working at all. Alright. So we're going to try something else. Okay, so this is not going to work. So we'll figure out another plan. Alrighty, I've got my resin mixed up. It is the Bond Craftor 1:1 epoxy resin. It's there on top. I put it through my debubbler, and a resiner's debubbler. I had it first in this huge resin cup. That won't fit in the debubbler, so I had to split it off in two. We are going to use the mermaid dust for the dice holder. I was able to use a fine tip on my little paint markers here and get them colored in, so we'll continue on with that a little bit later. So let's get mixing our colors up. May Spring Mermaid dust here. I'm going to move it off to the side. I don't want to get it everywhere should, you know, something happen. And let's just get some in here. And some in here. The mold does say it's 8.25 ounces of resin. So luckily I made up just under 12. So we should have plenty. I'm also going to add in some diamond frost. This is the Frosty Dawn, because of course I am. It is one of my favorites. Because Kitschy Kitten Erica, glitter is life. I'm just reusing these cups I had used the other day. Look at that pretty color happening there. That's a pretty color. You can see that little extra sparkle in there. And we'll get this one mixed up over here. Whenever you're working with micas, you just kind of want to let them sit after you mix them. Make sure that they get thoroughly mixed in, because any clumps will float up to the top. And then you make sure you get them all mixed again. You can see little bubbles happening here. Get those all mixed in. A little clumpy clump up here. Get it all mixed in there. Sure you're going around the edges of your cup. Don't want to miss any pigment that may be hanging out around there. Alright, we'll let that hang out for a second. I'm going to do a little cleanup here of all the powder powder that came off onto my station. She'll get a thorough cleaning a little bit later. All right. I just like watching it move. It's just fun. You see it? I don't think these are clumps of powder. I think they are actually just bubbles. Yeah, I think they're just bubbles. From all the stirring. And we will give our mold here spritz of alcohol. And this guy too. We're gonna pour some in here first. Get it started. Give a little squidgy widgies here around the squidgy widgies around the bottom. And then we'll put the top on. Find that little place it's supposed to go and slide into, which is right there. Then we'll get it clicked in place. Alright, now here's the fun part. Let us try to get it in this tiny little hole. And at this rate of pour, it's only going to take 5 years later. What I don't know is this is 8.25 for both the box and the lid. Whoa! Or if it was just the lid. I mean box. Does it say any? Oh, it's just the box. Okay. Hopefully I have enough because I have just under 12 and it looks like this might be just over 12. Ten years later. Now we are going to scrape the remaining amount in this guy over into here. They still have a ways to go. I'll get some in here. Just to have some, in case I need to top it off with something else, at least it'll match in color. 15 years later. Oh, I am right there. Okay, well that was dumb of me. I don't have a very steady hand, so this is very hard for me. "25 years later." Now we hope for no bubbles. We hope for no flash cure. I mean, there's a big bulb in it, so technically it's really not thick at all. Now we'll get the rest in here, and that is going to be a little shy. I forgot to check the measurements first before I made up my resin. Okay. Let me scoop up any of this over here. A little bit of it. Okay. See if we get any more out of here. All right, we'll make up a little bit more to top this off. And we'll be back. Oh, I need to top this off too. We'll be back on demold in a minute.
Hello, hello, hello. It is demold time. So we already got this little guy, but doesn't he look fun? I like him. I did also go ahead and add some gold numbering on here. A little acrylic paint pen. So go ahead. I already had topped that off. I did get a bubble there. I'm a little sad about that. But you know what? Oh, I got lots of little micro bubbles all on top. Alright, sorry. You know what? I'm not giving this to anyone. So let's get this little peel off. And I did spray it with alcohol, but this little overspill layer off. You know what? Hold on a second. UV resin. I'm just going to go ahead and give this little guy a top off here. Need a little bit more. All right, let's cure that up. All right, we are all cured up. These ones did get a lot of little micro bubbles all over them on the top side. And I don't know what number he was it got rubbed off, but that's all right. Because I'm not selling these. Oh, another tiny little bubble. And this one. I mean, I like the color a lot. That mermaid mica powder from Mayspring. And then the glitter in there. And this guy. This one I probably will go ahead and try to apparently toss everywhere. Fix up, excuse my arm, fix up the tips because a lot of them did get bubbles on them. Except for one, and that one's very sharp. All right, so there's those guys. Oh no, my lid got a bubble. Hate bubbles. Lots of bubbles. So many bubbles. Like I said, wow, another huge bubble. It's the first time I ever used this. Ow. So yeah, tons of bubbles in it. I'll have to try to fix all of those. Amazingly, the numbers didn't get any though. Okay. And this is the one that's going to be much harder to probably demold. Grab the tab here. And overpour goes flying everywhere. And this, we'll just peel that off right there. You can sand that down. Quick fix there. Excuse me. Lots of overpour in here. Yeah, I'll have to sand all that down. Alright, let us grab this. It is the next day. It has probably been about 22 hours. Definitely will need to go back under. That's better. That's easier. Anyway, we'll get the rest of that cleaned up a little bit later. All right. Some bubbles there. And there is the little pot. So I know I got bubbles on the 8. Not that 8, the other 8. The 18 bubbles there. Bubble on the 5. Bubble on that 5. But overall, not too bad for my first time, I don't think. Except for this guy. But that's how it would sit. And then we can just go ta-da! And now we have our little holder box. Maybe I was supposed to leave that. Guess it's supposed to sit like that. Alrighty. Stay tuned for the after shots or beauty shots. Thank you everyone who subscribes to my page. If you haven't subscribed, think about it. It's free for you. Excuse me. It does a lot for my channel. Please watch my videos. Thank you to everyone who does watch my videos. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, check out the QR code in the bottom corner here and just point your camera at it and you can be set up and subscribed to my channel. Or if you're not on, you can't point your camera to it, go ahead and hit the little subscribe button on my channel and just give my videos a quick watch. Please also comment. Let me know, do you like what I'm doing? Do you not like what I'm doing? What would you like to see me do? Any feedback would be fantastic. So this has been just curing under the UV lamp, so you can see I've tried to UV these edges. I took some of my little UV tape here and kind of lined it up around here and kind of squished it into a corner on some of these. It's a little wonky still. I need to do a little bit more standing. The acrylic pen, dual tip. And we'll move on to this. It works a little better. Especially on these bigger numbers. I can get tip in to those little crevices. I won't make you watch all of this, and we'll be back in a second. But I did not like how that paint turned out. And so I just sparkled up the edges because, you know, what is fantasy without sparkle? This is just the Unicorn crystal, crushed crystal, magical mica. You can see it's very fine and floaty. All right, we're just gonna let that dry up. And then we'll be back. Oh, see, it goes everywhere. For the beauty shots. Stay tuned.